What it do, Dream Team? It's your boy D Neal back with another reaction video, guys. Here we are with Do Americans Think They Are Superior to Others? Before we jump into this video, let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think that Americans think that they're superior to others? I'm gonna go with 50-50. I would say Americans think their country is superior to others. That's what I would say. But that's kind of, I think, what we're kind of taught, like, pushed into our brains growing up. Like, we're the greatest country, we're the freest country, we're the strongest country, you're the strongest. But all the other things is just kind of just constantly beat into our brain over and over again. So we start to believe it without knowing anything else about the rest of the world. But before we jump into this, y'all know I need you to hit the subscribe button, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Social media, Patreon, all up top. You're subscribed to any of it, follow the links in the description. All you gotta do is hit the link, follow me, talk to me. I love talking to you guys, and I'm human. I talk back. If you got a favorite video suggestion, you can subscribe to Patreon, or in the description there's a Google form link. What we got?
History entertains us with the stories of Roman empires, the territorial tales of the Ottoman Empire, and the swashbuckling British Empire. But what about the Americans' imprint on the world? Although not really an empire in the traditional sense, Americans have left an imprint of culture, influence, and global economics around the world. Most, if not all countries, have a section of society who will take pride in their nationalism. In Thailand, all citizens stand still in public twice a day to respect the monarch. Indians have a high sense of national pride, with over 40% of her citizens believing she is the best country in the world. The Brits are still vocal about their past empire and World War victories, but when it comes to national pride, the good old USA just seems to have the edge. Today we find out why.
He said everybody speaks our language. He said, no, I speak American.
Comes to national pride, the good old USA just seems to have the edge. Today we find out why. In this episode of the Infographic Show, do Americans feel they are superior to everybody else? The United States is proud of its past, but shouldn't most countries be super proud of their past achievements? When it comes to achievements and inventions, the United States is no mere two-bit player on the world stage. The moon landing is not to be sneezed at, and the auto industry was a major industrial shot in the arm that has been replicated across the world. Then we have the invention of the worldwide omnipresent cell phone, the less visible submarine, and let's not forget the world's first nuclear reactor, all US projects and inventions. The PC and tech revolution that's taken the world by storm is largely American, not to mention the internet, without which you probably wouldn't be watching this video right now. All this was achieved in a relatively short space of time, following America's involvement in World War II, a war that was crucial in helping to achieve an Allied victory, crushing the Axis powers, and giving birth to the New World as we know it. Now,
Hold on. Hey, America done did some things, you feel me? They done did a lot in this technology space, because the internet is probably one of the, I don't know if I could live without internet. It's probably one of the best things that could have ever been invented. Like, internet alone. That's all. I don't know what else to say. Keep it going.
Victory, crushing the Axis powers, and giving birth to the New World as we know it. National pride or patriotism is love and devotion to one's country, and a sense of alliance with other citizens who share the same values. In the United States and other larger countries such as Russia and China, national pride has a deep dimension. Each negative event that happens against the nation can reinforce a love for the country. Men and women every day from all nations do not hesitate to join the army and to prove their national pride with the business end of a semi-automatic rifle, and not always in a conflict that they fully understand. Americans, however, aren't always so fast to sign up for the war effort. In 1964, American citizens took a stand against their country's involvement in the Vietnam War, demonstrating against the government in what became a broad social civil liberties movement. Many of those
There was, I wasn't alive back then, of course, but that was a big stand that a lot of Americans, like, they didn't believe in going into that war. And you see these signs, in the war in Vietnam, we won't fight another rich man's war. Stop, make love, not war. Yeah, there was a lot of backlash over that war. And so, know what I'm saying? Just as willing as we have people willing to sign up to be in the Army or the Navy, you know what I'm saying? There's also a lot of people who don't believe in war and things of that nature.
demonstrating against the government in what became a broad social civil liberties movement. Many of those within the peace movement were students, moms, or anti-establishment hippies. Opposition grew with African American civil rights, women's liberation, and other marginalized sectors of the community who all considered American involvement in Vietnam to be a mistake, a view echoed decades later by U.S. Secretary of Defense Robert McNamara. It has been said that Americans don't travel overseas much, and according to the Huffington Post in a 2012 article, only 3.5% of Americans travel abroad, although they do not take lots of domestic holidays, and who can blame them with such a vast country to visit? Is it any wonder that when Americans do leave the States, they have a somewhat inflated opinion of their home country and therefore feel superior to some of the places they travel to, and therefore leave the impression that they have a national superiority complex? But not all Americans feel their country is superior. Although there are no true reliable figures, a 1999 State Department estimate suggests that there are between 3 and 6 million Americans living outside of the United States. The countries most visited by Americans include Germany, Italy, France, and the United Kingdom. A certain brand of travel known as genealogy tourism is undertaken by Americans, whereby they travel to Ireland, Scotland, Wales, Germany, or wherever they have traced their ancestors to, and this type of travel is typically, by definition, of a respectful nature. Those who
That's interesting to trace your roots all the way back to different countries, and I've never tried to do that. But yeah, I know what I'm saying. There's plenty of Americans who do not believe that this is a superior country. And I do, while I'm proud of the country, I don't think we're superior to others. I just think we've done a lot of good things, but we've also done a lot of bad things. And while there are great things here, there's so many things that need to be and can be improved on. And we can take notes from other countries on how to improve those things. But keep it rolling.
And this type of travel is typically, by definition, of a respectful nature. Those who travel to the countries of their ancestors, and there are many Americans who do so, cannot be totally driven by a nationality bias. So on that basis, Americans aren't snobby travelers. According to an academic study on American superiority by Tappan, Ryan, and McKay, most Americans strongly believe they are virtuous and moral. Yet they regard the average person as distinctly less so. In the study, participants judged themselves and the average person on traits reflecting the core dimensions of social perception, morality, and agency, and found themselves distinctly better qualified than the next person. It should be noted that in this study, Americans were judging themselves against predominantly other Americans, however the sense of overall judgment without doubt travels fondly overseas. National pride also seems to be a generational phenomenon, with the older generations being more nationalistic than the younger generations. As younger generations tend to travel, and the gap year among students becomes more popular, national pride does seem to be quietly fading among Americans. The more we travel around the world and experience different cultures, the less nationalistic we are, as national pride is often deeply rooted in the ignorance of other countries and cultures. It is basic human behavior that we fear what we don't know, and we accept and admire what we recognize and understand. But with that said, a little national pride is nothing to worry about, provided it doesn't go overboard. So, is there a difference between arrogance and ignorance? Can we feel a bit of pride without coming across looking all superior? And just who are the most arrogant nations abroad? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Also, be sure to check out our other video called Can You Die of Loneliness? Thanks for watching, and as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next.
But yes. A lot of the times it's that you know what I'm saying? That national pride, and like you said, it can be a good thing up to an extent. But a lot of it comes from the fact that we've never been to other countries. We've never traveled to other countries. We don't know what the rest of the world is like. And so I feel like the younger generation does travel more. So once they do travel to these other countries, like you said, it starts to fade, and you start loving all of these places and seeing great things about all of these places that you go to. That's all we got for this one. You guys got a favorite video that you want to see or hear me react to, you can subscribe to Patreon, leave a suggestion, or in the description section, there's a Google form link. Hit the link, fill out your suggestion, send it to me. You want me to get to yours faster than others, fill out premium. Make sure you hit subscribe to the channel, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. I got social media and Patreon all up top. You want to subscribe to any of it, put all the links in the description. All you got to do is hit the link, follow me, talk to me. Love talking to you guys. You guys are the most incredible team on YouTube. It's your boy Neal. Out.